I mean, among other things, she loves to be able to go out and cook whatever she wants to cook. She's,
Yeah.
it's kind of natural. It's a beautiful thing.
Right, but you were at a store buying some other stuff. Anyway, so, and we're going to get to the book. I want to talk about the book, but just real quickly with what's going on, for a while there was a talk that Oprah was going to run for president. I know that she's not going to run, but you think she would be a great president.
Oh, yes. No, you can trust her.
Stedman explains that to truly connect with someone, you first need to understand and master yourself. He also shares how Oprah's strong personality pushed him to define his own identity, which came with both struggles and growth.
Number one, she's smart.
Yeah.
She has a photographic memory. Mm-hmm. She works very, very hard. And so she has qualifications to do it, and she's very successful.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about identity leadership. Explain what that is to everyone.
Well, identity leadership is self-leadership, and it's based on the philosophy that you can't lead anybody else until you first lead yourself. So it really is focused on self-mastery, self-efficacy, self-empowerment.
Stedman talks about relationships and shows how wanting the best for each other can strengthen a bond. He emphasizes the importance of mutual support and expresses his dedication.
It's the greatest thing I discovered for myself, to be able to work on myself so I can define myself as opposed to having the world define me.
Right. And so how would you say you do that? Because basically you're talking about self-confidence, that you don't let somebody else veer your opinion or...
you don't let someone else put you in the box. So what happens when you can't define yourself, the world defines you by your race, it defines you by your house, your car, your money, your title. It defines you by your gender and tells you can't make it because it's a man's world.
To Oprah's happiness. Stan reflects on his growth during their time together, saying that while sharing life with someone in the spotlight can be intimidating, it also gave him the opportunity.
And it's kind of socially constructed and designed to control your own development. Mm-hmm. And so I created this process that starts with identity as the foundation for organizing your growth. It allows you to shape your own future. It allows you to understand your talents, your skills, your abilities, and your purpose. So everything starts with a purpose.
Yep.
And then you have to create a vision for yourself to basically organize a vision that's bigger than your circumstance.
To discover and develop his own skills and passions. 201 to 231. Stedman openly talks about how labels can shape and limit people.
Okay. Yeah. But you don't think she would at least take the call?
She's good. She is. She could definitely do a great job. There's no question about it.
But if
smart, she's creative.
I know she
great
loves
ideas. She's a hard worker. She's
right,
detailed.
Right. I know she is.
You can trust
she's
her.
the best. Does she at least have to take the call and at least listen and hear him out and
Take
consider?
the call. She could be an advisor. How about that?
She could be an advisor, but she wouldn't. You don't think she would at least consider if he said, "Hey, look, for the."
In fact, she
emphasizes the importance of breaking free from social norms, no matter how they relate to one's race, gender, or past. 241 to 3. Stedman openly discusses the challenges.
I know a lot of suburban.
Barack is in office today because of her.
You think?
No question.
Absolutely.
No question.
I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. I think she's one person.
He was president of the United States because of her, and other people, but mostly because of her.
Well, I think they're huge fans of each other. If he calls her up and he says, "Hey, look, Oprah, our country needs you right now more than ever. We're so divided."
No question, she would serve in the capacity, but she's not political.
Of dating someone as famous as Oprah. He admits that her huge public image can sometimes overshadow his private life, making it harder for him to define his own identity. Reflecting on their time together, Stedman talks about how he's had to constantly reinvent himself in the shadow of...
I think she would be an awesome vice president. I think you'd have to consider her, right?
Vice president, she would be a great president, but she's not political. Her role is to empower people all around the world.
But that's why I'm saying vice president.
Bigger than
a success. He stresses the importance of self-actualization and recognizing one's own worth, highlighting how crucial it is to find happiness within oneself, especially when in a relationship with a global icon. Stedman openly discusses the psychological toll of always being in the spotlight, admitting that at times, the pressure can feel overwhelming. He recognizes that managing their relationship requires a delicate balance, where he must support Oprah while also pursuing his own goals. Stedman reflects on the emotional burden of living in an environment with high expectations, acknowledging the public's admiration for their relationship and the way they are seen as a power couple. He shares that this dynamic has sometimes made him feel lost, struggling to maintain his own identity. Reflecting on their shared experiences,
Where's Stedman?
Stedman is at the guest house because you all know I had pneumonia late last year. And you can still hear the raspiness in my throat sometimes when I talk. And I had just gotten off of antibiotics last week because I had like a bronchial infection. And so Stedman was late to the party, understanding.
Oh, he's one of those.
thanks Oprah for her unwavering support, but also recognizes that it can come with a cost. He recalls times when he felt ignored or unappreciated, which can be hurtful in a relationship constantly under public scrutiny. Stedman highlights the importance of communication.
Stedman was one of those going, I don't see what everybody's getting so upset about.
Stedman.
It's been all fear-based leadership. That's what Stedman was saying.
That's why he was at the guest house.
And that's why Stedman was at the guest house.
On the Oprah Magazine Instagram, she also gave an update on how he's doing, filming a video of him from outside the house.
In their relationship, noting that despite their strong bond, they've faced difficulties. Stedman talks about the challenges in their relationship, especially during the pandemic when they had to stay in the guest house for safety.
How you doing? Meals are dropped off. We put the meals at the door right there, early in the morning. We're locked down here too.
The caption reads in part, quote, although he does not have the virus, the couple decided that Stedman should quarantine separately in the guest house after several recent flights and some business.
And adjust to new ways of managing personal space due to quarantine. This period also brought out his feelings of loneliness and stress, making him confront his own weaknesses. Stedman admits during a vulnerable moment that he often felt as if he was living in Oprah's shadow because...
Where's Stedman?
Stedman is at the guest house.
Oprah Winfrey is getting candid about quarantine life. The 66-year-old spoke with Oprah Magazine's Ariana Davis, revealing that her longtime love Stedman Graham is currently quarantined in the guest house amid the coronavirus pandemic. Oprah explained why it is so important for Stedman to keep a safe social distance, revealing she has a pre-existing medical condition
of her celebrity status. He acknowledges that even though he supports her in pursuing her goals, there are times when he feels overlooked and struggles to get recognition for his own achievements. 6:33 to 7:02. Clip 10. As Stedman...
Oprah Winfrey recently opened up to Vogue magazine on her career, weight struggles, and her love life, including why she never married her longtime partner, Stedman Graham. She says the only time she's brought up marriage to Stedman was when she asked, quote, what would have happened if we had actually gotten married? And the answer is, we wouldn't be together. She goes on to say marriage requires a different way of being in this world. According to Winfrey, her partner did ask once for her hand in marriage. They postponed that decision and never spoke of it again. The couple's been together since 1986.
How their relationship has evolved, he recognizes their deep love for each other, while also noting that their relationship has involved sacrifices. He openly admits that,
and I would not have been able to fit into that. So you can read Oprah's full interview in the September issue of Vogue. It hits newsstands August 22nd.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital.
Prioritizing Oprah meant putting his own goals and dreams on hold, which created a complex emotional situation. 7:20 to 7:44. Clip 11. Stedman talks about how important communication is to their partnership. Despite their close relationship, he acknowledges that there have been misunderstandings. It has taken him time to learn how to express his emotions honestly, but he understands that doing so is key to maintaining a strong relationship, especially during tough times. Plus, 8 to 8:34. Clip 12. Oprah recently opened up about her relationship with Stedman in an interview with Vogue, sparking conversations about commitment. She mentioned that the only time they discussed marriage was when she thought about what their life might have been like if they had gotten married. 8:46 to 9:09. Clip 13. In an open conversation, Oprah discussed her relationship with Stedman, highlighting their over 3 decades together. She mentioned that while they had considered marriage,
this one is great because it's about leadership. But I've got a problem, Stedman, and it's this. Your central premise is that pretty much anyone can become a leader. They can evolve into a leader. I'm not sure I agree with you. I think leaders are born, not made. Persuade me otherwise.
Well, identity leadership, which is the name of the book, is really self-leadership. And it's based on the philosophy that you can't lead anybody else until you first lead yourself.
thrived because they chose not to follow the traditional path to fame. Acknowledging Oprah's destined greatness, Stedman reflects on how being in the spotlight often made him.
So everybody has to first lead themselves. And that's kind of hard to do because when you talk about self-mastery, the world's not set up for you to lead yourself. It's basically set up for you to be a follower. You know, most people, they wake up in the morning, they wash their face, they brush their teeth, they get something to eat, they get the kids off to school, they work all day, come home in the afternoon, they spend time with the family, they watch TV, they go to bed, maybe they dream. And they repeat that same cycle over and over. So if you did the same thing you did yesterday as you will do today, as you will do tomorrow, what have you done?
Overshadowed, struggling to define his own identity while supporting her remarkable career. He remembers a moment when he realized their relationship with.
We have a system now, an educational system that basically teaches us how to memorize and take tests, repeat the information back, get labeled with a grade, and 2 weeks later we get the information. So we don't actually learn anything. So basically nothing from nothing is nothing. So the most important thing in terms of the 21st century, which requires you now to be skilled, requires you now to have some self-direction, requires you to be alive.
According to Stedman's leadership insights, genuine leaders must first master themselves. He uses the example of how societal structures often impose roles that don't empower individuals. He explains how many people get stuck in routines that hinder personal growth and stresses the importance of self-discovery, especially in a world where many feel more like passive followers.